20s, when I was really single and bored and very lonely, I would go out on these long bike rides all through New York, like go out to the beach, explore different neighborhoods, and this really freaked my mom out because she was just so sure that like stranger danger was gonna come in and that I would be like, raped and killed and chopped up. And I was like, Mom, like there's no need to worry. I can't get like a normal guy to be interested in me, let alone like be the target of some sexy axe murderer. So I was coming home from the beach one day and I stopped in Broad Channel to go to Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge to like check out some birds because I love birds, which is why I'm single. I'm walking in and I passed this nice old man sitting by himself, and he's just kind of smiling at people as they go by, and he says, oh, like watch out for the mosquitoes today, they're vicious. And I'm like, oh gee, thanks mister. And I walk around, I don't see anything, and I come back out and we kind of strike up a conversation. We talk about what kind of birds we like, and we talk about like what life was like in Broad Channel after Sandy. And he was just the nicest guy. This was not a stranger danger situation at all. He was probably just lonely like me and wanting someone to talk to. His name was Julio Barre. And he was wearing these camo pants and an ex-military hat and aviators, so I figured he was a veteran. And at one point he goes to take off his aviators, and I noticed that he's wearing all these turquoise rings. And I'm like, oh, that's a little weird. I'm like a military guy in turquoise. And then I look in and I see during this whole time, he's been cradling this little object on his lap. And I look in and it's a Tibetan singing bowl. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Yeah, he also mentioned a Tibetan singing bowl. And I thought, well, that's odd. So I asked him, Julio, why do you have a Tibetan singing bowl? And he goes, oh, this? I use this to communicate with the aliens. and I was like, tell me more. And he did. I clearly touched upon Julio's favorite subject. He told me about how he communicates with the aliens with his Tibetan singing bowl. He makes a noise and he moves right and he shines a flashlight on them and then they follow him around. He said that he's very, very popular in the alien community, famous in the alien community. He told me about how he goes to the Pentagon and he listens from the rafters as our congressmen and women deny and try to conspire to cover up the truth about aliens. He told me about the Nazi aliens that have been that came to this country during World War II and are just biding their time before they attack, but he sends them messages with his singing bowls to pull off. And he just goes on, and I am fascinated. I could have stood in Broad Channel chatting aliens all night with Julio, but I'm like, yo man, it's getting dark. This has been great, but I gotta go. And then he says, oh no, but you can't go. You're wonderful. What's your full name again? And I'm like, this is that stranger danger situation. So I tell him my name is Julie Arujo, which is my mother's maiden name. Which is truth adjacent because who am I to assume the worst about alien guy? And then he is like, well, can I have your number? And I'm like, oh, I don't give out my number because I'm playing coy. And he says, well, give me your email address so we can stay in touch. And so I figured, yeah, sure, what does this old man know about email? My dad doesn't know how to use his phone. So I give him my email address, which is my real fucking name at gmail.com. The hug. And in no way did our interaction warrant a hug. But I just kind of braced myself and he gave it to me, and then he gave me the lingering kiss on the cheek. I know. And I was like, I gotta go. I do not want to be the Scully to your Mulder, my friend. So I hopped on my bike and I got out of there. I went home and I was like, ooh, that'll be a fun story for the girls. The next morning, I checked my email, and I have 14 emails from Julio Barre. They started off nice enough. He was like, oh my God, it was so nice to meet you. Let me just reach into my fun bag of facts about aliens. We talked about like the lady aliens that are called Foo Fighters that have fought in every major ground war throughout history. More Nazi alien fun facts. Guy was really into Nazi aliens. Then he said that it was really nice that I agreed to go with him when the alien war started, which is funny because I don't remember agreeing to go with him. And then he gave me his home phone number and told me to always keep 50 cents in my pocket because when the aliens come, they're going to take out the satellites first. And I'm like, well, that's pretty smart. Then he said, he was like, oh, I'm so glad that you've agreed to come with me now that you're my witness and we can rule the galaxy together. He really said that. And he said that I could be in command of my own Starfleet. Which honestly is pretty fucking cool. Like, my ex-boyfriend wouldn't even let me drive, and he's gonna like let me have my own fucking sky. This is all great, but I'm like, I did not respond. Because, I didn't want to lead him on or, like, be chopped up and pulped into his hot alien smoothie that he would sip off as he rockets off into space. But the next day, he still sent me another dozen emails. And he continued to send me emails, and it has been 3.5 years. And I have received over 500 emails from Julio Barre. And I've never responded, and I gotta tell you, a lot has happened in my life in the last 3.5 years. Like, my heart has exploded with heartbreak and like the country going to shit and just all these things. But Julio has been emailing me like at least once a week the entire time. And in this weird way, Julio has been the most consistent man in my life. Every holiday, he sends me like a little note about like happy holidays, and then sometimes he sends me pages of books that he's reading, and then sometimes he warns me not to go to Northern California because that's where all the super rich Illuminati live, and they're gonna like drink my blood while worshiping a 40-foot owl named Murdoch. And he is the exact kind of sociopath that my mother was warning me about. But what my mom did not tell me is that it's sort of fun to have someone be a little bit obsessed with you.